Okay, I don't really know what to do. Like, have you guys had it? I do not want to play video games at all. No. Like, we got MLB The Show, which, you know, it's good, but it's really stale. Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed, it gets stale. I'm doing the same thing in every single video. 2K, which is a good change of pace, but if you try to play online, you're just gonna find somebody who cheats and cherry picks the entire time. And then Madden, which, well, Madden, it just makes me mad. But that's where I run into the problem. I don't want to play anything. Oh. Why, when you grow up, do you just phase out of being a kid? Like, I don't want to not play video games. But I'm just not as interested as I used to be. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad. Oh, I hate growing up. Alright, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm sure you could tell by the intro, but today, yeah, I'm just not gaming still. I found another idea that I think you guys will like, considering you liked the first one, but today I'm going to be giving you guys 10 more super underrated players. It's been like 5 or 6 months since the first episode. So before we hop into the list, I don't really have any honorable mentions considering, well, underrated doesn't have an actual textbook definition. It's all opinion based. Meaning my honorable mentions wouldn't make sense to like half of you guys, because half of you guys probably won't agree with this list in the first place. But to me, underrated means, well, your production's up here and you're just looked at down here. You do a lot and receive little. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not getting the credit you deserve. That's underrated. So let's give you 10 crazy underrated players. One quick thing, guys, head over to gfuel.com and use code WyattzWorld to save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. Alright, so starting off this list, and by the way, this is in no particular order, but Tyler Boyd. Underrated as hell on the Bengals. The Bengals have a lot of underrated people. There will be another one on this list eventually, but since 2018, Tyler Boyd's been catching 1,000 yards a season and a handful of touchdowns. The only reason he missed it in 2020 is because Joe Burrow got hurt. He's apparently the number 3 receiver on the Bengals behind T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, who nobody really knows if he's going to pan out or not. Look what happened with John Ross, shit the bed. But you're telling me your number 3 receiver is a guy who's going to catch 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns in a season? That seems a little bit too good to be true. When AJ Green has been hurt, you know, missing his last 4 seasons like he did, Tyler Boyd is the guy who stepped up. He was Andy Dalton's guy, he was Burrow's guy a little bit before he got hurt. But Tyler Boyd has played an extremely significant role in the Bengals offense for the last 3 years, and AJ Green has still gotten more attention than him. Makes no goddamn sense. Tyler Boyd, I see you and I respect you. Alright, up next on this list we have Damien Harris. The reason he's on here is because he got brought up yesterday and it made me think about him because he was snubbed from the tier list. This guy's not bad. He's only been in the league for 2 years and he only started 10 games last year, mustering up 691 rushing yards for 2 touchdowns but averaging 5 yards a carry. That's something that, you know, you're not really used to seeing from the Patriots considering they have like 18 running backs over there. What I saw last year, I think Damien Harris looked like a pretty underrated player. He's going to get overlooked and overshadowed because he doesn't play on a run-first offense, but I think he's always going to put up substantially good numbers as long as he's playing in New England. I think if New England sticks to James White getting 4 screen passes a game, Sony Michel getting 2 carries, give Damien Harris the rest of the load, they easily have a 1,000-yard rusher on their hands. Alright, up next on this list, now entering Jacksonville, Marvin Jones Jr. He's so underrated it's gut-wrenching, honest to God. Every single time Kenny Galladay's been hurt, which is every year he's played, he's stepped up in the role for Matt Stafford to have a number 1 receiver. A lot older than people think. I can't exactly give you a number, but he played for the Bengals like way back in 2012 or 13. Like, he's been in the league for a while. Last year, 978 yards, 9 touchdowns. The previous year, 779 yards, 9 touchdowns. 2017, 1,100 yards, so he did hit 1,000, 9 touchdowns. 2013, one of his first years at the Bengals, 712 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's never going to be a number 1 guy. He's never going to get the number 1 reps unless he's, you know, subbing in for somebody who is hurt. But as long as Marvin Jones is playing on the field as a number 2, he's always been the same kind of guy. He's a shifty deep threat who is an end zone machine. Still never forget it. I don't know how many years ago it was now, 2017 or 2018, when he absolutely cooked Xavier Rhodes over at Campfire inside US Bank Stadium. He dropped 3 or 4 touchdowns that day on the Vikings. It was fucking ridiculous. He's a good asset for Jacksonville's offense. They needed a veteran there and they have one now. And don't come at me with the Tim Tebow shit. Fuck off. Alright, up next we have Darius Williams from the Rams. When you're 5'9" and you're playing on the same team as Jalen Ramsey, it's pretty fucking hard to not be overshadowed, but as a cornerback, this guy is a stud. But like I just said, the guy being 5'9" and weighing a $180, soaking fucking wet, he had 14 deflections and 4 interceptions last year while locking down pretty much any wide receiver too that they put him on. He's had kind of a weird career. I'm not sure what the fuck happened. I think he went from the Rams to Baltimore back to the Rams. I could be wrong on that. I want to say something weird happened with those though. I imagine the Rams are going to want to keep him as long as they can, but it's going to be difficult after this season when his contract's up and they still have to pay Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, and Jalen Ramsey. Like, that's just, well, impossible, it seems like, at least. Either way, assuming he, does good this year, LA is going to try and do everything they can to keep him alongside Jalen. Alright, up next we got a guy who again was snubbed off the tier list yesterday for whatever reason, but I think he's underrated as a person, and that is Tevin Coleman. I think he is 10 times better than Raheem Mostert ever was. Better receiving back for certainty. Mostert doesn't catch the fucking ball. Coleman can, and he does. Go look at his receiving stats with Atlanta. He was elite. And he's also a good running back. Yes, he's not going to be as fast as Mostert, but he is definitely, well, I'd say more complete. He got hurt at the beginning of this year, basically missed the entire year. Not that he would have played anyway because, San Francisco has 15 different running backs too. But last year in San Francisco, out of 137 attempts, he had 544 yards, 6 touchdowns, 180 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. Before that, when he was in Atlanta, when Devontae Freeman got hurt, 800 yards, 4.8 yards a carry, 4 rushing touchdowns, 276 receiving yards for 5 touchdowns. He's fucking really good. He just hasn't had a starting job since, well, never. Why he got snubbed for Devontae Freeman, I don't know. Why he got snubbed for Mostert, I don't know. If he gets snubbed for fucking Ty Johnson on the Jets, I quit. Tevin Coleman, super underrated. If he stays healthy, he is gold. Alright, up next, just because everybody seems to think he's the fucking worst, Jared Goff. Horribly underrated because people think that he is so bad. I just talked about him in another video. We won't sit on him for as long as we should. Okay, this is Goff's stats here. We've just showed this too, but you're not gonna tell me that this guy is worse than Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, Andy Dalton, Gardner Minshew, shit, Sam Darnold, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hell, I'd take Goff over Carson Wentz right now. I'd probably even take him over Ben Roethlisberger right now just for his arm. Jared Goff's career, he's 42-27, and he brought his team to the fucking Super Bowl. 18,000 pass yards, 107 touchdowns, 55 picks. Farthest thing from ass that you can find, okay? I don't care. People want to talk their shit about Jared Goff, you can, but how people treat him, he is so underrated, it hurts. Alright, back to the Bengals. I know Joe Mixon was in the first video. We had Tyler Boyd already in this video. The last Bengal of the video will be Jesse Bates III. He won some award this year. I can't remember what the hell it was. It was like the most improved or some kind of award or like team MVP or something. But what pisses me off is that he got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, which is just fucked. But then he got second team All-Pro, which is, I guess that's definitely a more prestigious award, if you're asking me at least. But it's the fact that he makes that, but he's not going to make the Pro Bowl because his name isn't Tyrann Mathieu. This guy is only 24 years old. He's only been in the league for 3 years. All I'm trying to say is 300 tackles and 9 picks through 3 years. You're starting off at a pretty good fucking rate. Don't sleep on Jesse Bates, and please give him some damn respect. He's going to be one of the best safeties in the NFL, hopefully for a long time. But right now, incredibly underrated. Alright, up next we got John Boogie Down Brown. Now, I'm not counting him as a Buffalo Bill on this list, so don't think of that. Like, he's just an underrated player. He's basically Nelson Agholor. Except John Brown's a better catcher than Nelson Agholor. I say that because Nelson Agholor, he would have made this list, but half the time that guy gets out of bed, he cannot catch a ball. And then half the time he gets up, he'll catch any pass thrown to him. It's fucking ridiculous. He's kind of like Michael Gallup. John Brown is just good old reliable. He's been good since he's entered the league, and I'm going to guess he came in the league in 2013. I bet you that's right. Let's look it up. 2014, he entered the league with Arizona. So the thing about John Brown is he's never really been the guy. He's never even really had the chance. He's never really even been looked at as the guy, except last year in Buffalo when they didn't have Diggs. I say last year as in 2 years ago. I already know he's going to do great things in Vegas with Derek Carr. He's fast and he can catch the ball. That's all you need when you're in Vegas. I shouldn't say that's all you need, but John Brown, Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Derek Carr, there's going to be a lot of bombs this year. But John Brown, not the biggest guy, not the most physical guy, but he is fast, he can catch, and he will do whatever you need him to do. You may not be appreciated everywhere, but I see you, John Brown. Okay, up next, well, I don't really like this team at all, so it might come as a shock to you guys, but Deontay Johnson. I think he is the best receiver on the Steelers. I really do. And people shit on him because he had a couple of drops last year. Yeah, they were bad drops, but every fucking player drops balls. He might have had 2 or 3 of them in like, you know, a quicker turn of events than the average. But he is a fantastic wide receiver when he's not hurt either, because he does have an injury problem. Steelers' offense is completely different with and without Deontay Johnson, and that's not even a fucking question. The 2 years that Deontay Johnson has played in the NFL, 1 year he had 680 yards and 5 touchdowns. Last year he had 923 yards and 7 touchdowns. One thing about Deontay Johnson though, and this is a compliment, but it pisses you off, especially when your team is playing against him. But he is, I swear to God, always open. Which is also why he has so many touchdowns for the yardage that he has, because, well, you get to the red zone, he's gonna fucking get open. Teach me the ways, Deontay. If injuries weren't a thing, I would take Deontay over Juju. Now, Chase, on the other hand, that one I'm not certain on, but Deontay Johnson, very underrated. Alright, and last but not least, Tyrod Taylor. Guy lost his job for doing absolutely nothing wrong 3 different times. 27, 24, and 1 win-loss ratio on his career. 70 total touchdowns, 20 interceptions. And he's lost his job 3 times. One, well, because Buffalo just didn't want him anymore. Well, I can't really complain about that because they got Josh Allen. Cleveland, well, he got concussed and Baker Mayfield took over, so another rookie took his job. Then he goes to the Chargers, where he goes 1-0, and then he gets stabbed in the lung with a fucking syringe. Another rookie named Justin Herbert comes in and takes his job. Now Tyrod is in Houston battling for a starting job with Deshaun Watson, which sucks because Deshaun's not going to play there, meaning if they trade him to the Eagles or something, Jalen Hurts is just going to come in and take Tyrod's job for the 4th time. Man, when he first came to Buffalo, he had Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods. Sammy was the man at the time. Robert Woods, well, he wasn't really known, I guess is the word. Like, he was known, but his talents weren't known when he was on Buffalo. He was good, but he just wasn't, you know, 1,200 yard good. Tyrod had weapons. He made do with them. He made use of them. He used his legs. He used Shady McCoy a lot of the time, too. He snapped Buffalo's 18-year playoff drought, and in return for it, got sent to Cleveland to die. Maybe he's not underrated, but I should definitely say Tyrod Taylor is the most disrespected athlete I've probably ever fucking seen. Alright guys, and that was 10 more super underrated players, well, in my opinion. If you guys like this video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, guys. Turn on the little bell. I try to post every single day. If you guys want to send something to my P.O. box or follow my social medias, all the links will be in the description of this video. For those who are waiting for me to stream on Twitch again, I said I know I didn't want a game, but I'm gonna try and do it maybe tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, guys, with all that shit being said, I'm gonna hop off and edit this so you guys can watch it. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and as always, I will see you in the next video.